Do you ever have those moments in life where you finally think you're getting on top of things, or, pardon the pun, getting your head above water? Yeah, well, Mother Nature's thrown us a bit of a curveball on that one. And don't get me wrong, we're under no misconception of where we live. We're about 1 kilometre from the Hunter River. But the difference this time was we weren't home. And it was a lot higher than what it has been previously. Previously, when the river's been rising, it's no big deal. You just move everything up the top you think's going to get affected. But it's now 5 days later. We were away for 6 days, and it was the first night. At 4 AM, the river rose to a height we haven't seen before, and I guess we'll get around with a laser level later, and I'll try and work out exactly how high it got. But I got sent a few of these photos at 7 AM on a Sunday, on the first day that we were away. So we got home late yesterday, Arvo, and I have had a quick look around, but come for a walk. So normally it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Anything that drove, like Sarge or whichever, or even anything that didn't, I could just grab the Bobcat and we'd just drag them up the hill. My old truck, that was probably one that hurt the most, because I love this old piece of shit. As worthless as it is, I love it. Lights are full of water. You can see exactly where the water line was. But it's right there. So what's that? 70 mils under the door handle. There's still debris and shit, but the water's subsided. It's all disappeared. Like I said, it's now had 5 days to recede. So to here, would have just touched my seats. You can see the rings of dirt there, or silt. Did it get in the console? Did it get in the console? It's still in the console. As I say, this one's a bit of a worthless old truck, but it's not worthless to me. I love this old thing. You can sort of see where the water's come to. I'm sort of hoping this one's high enough. Oh, it's actually a little bit low in oil. Mental note, check your oil. Well, I'm checking it, and I'm saying that one might be just high enough that it doesn't have water in it. The transmission, I've got another transmission for one of these up at the other block, so I'd like to have a look and see if there's a breather on the box anywhere before I start panicking. That's way up there. But these ones you check idling hot, so I'm not going to panic about that just yet. It is high though, which could mean water, but I'll go up and look at that other box later. See if there's a breather. If there's a breather in the case, then yeah, I'll just dump that fluid. If there's not, I'll make a decision. But we'll have a look around some of this other stuff. Poor old Sarge just got dragged out of a paddock. And yes, handle's still broken, but that indicates that this one's full of water. One of the photos I was sent of Sarge, the water was about here across the front guard, but the problem was that was at 7 o'clock and it peaked at 4:30, so it was a lot higher than... I should get my laser level, although my laser level went underwater as well, and set it up out here Just try and get a gauge of where it came to. I don't think I need to though when you open the door. I can pretty much tell you it was above the door trim, and what do you reckon about there? Dash height. I just finished those seats. The irony of that is, when I finished Sarge, just before, I say finished, he's not finished, you know what I mean. When I finished the video on Sarge, there was a pool of water, and I said, oh damn it, he leaks. Oh damn it, he does a bit more than leak now. And the back's just full of mud. Oh, the freaking handbooks. That was his handbooks that... Oh no. Please don't be ruined. I know that sounds like a really stupid thing to say. I'm worried about the handbooks, but that's got his police history in him. If I can just get that page off. Just sitting out in the sun. The irony is, it's had rain for 4 days. Finally got home and the sun's coming out, so thank you Mother Nature, I think. These piled up against the shed were not like that. That's where they were, but my brother-in-law found them down against the fence. They'd actually floated out of the yard and downstream a bit when the water was receding. I'd be interested later to take that level and see how much above the front fence it went. This one was coming up next, I guess. Not now, we've got other stuff to do. And the HK you've all seen. Just silt, so it was over the glove box of this guy as well. Oh no, it ruined the door trim. Whatever. This one's going to be a hell of a... Will it run now? Hasn't run in a couple of decades and now it's been flooded. The glove box is still full of water. Look at the mud. That's one that I really need to get going first, is that Bobcat. The AP5 had enough. He's got enough rust in him. He just let the water out, but the mud stayed. I'll have a look at Sarge's motor. This one would have went completely under. As I said, there's the oil, so the water goes to the bottom and just pushes all the oil out. So that looks incredibly black considering I just changed that though. Yeah, look, it's got mud around the top of the carby, so it is literally full of water to the top. Yep, right, I'll sit that down so you can see, but that's to there. Nothing but water all the way down the dipstick. Now I can't find where this has got to go back in. So Sarge might have to be one of the first ones. I sort of feel like it's a bit of a race against time. It's pushed all the oil out there by the look of it. So one thing I'll need is a multimeter. See if sealed batteries, I guess it wouldn't affect, but I guess we'll see. It's not great. That's one thing that hurts. I've just got 3 new golf carts. Of course, that's another thing that hurts. Oh, and my 400 Chevy in the FB Ute. Okay, it all hurts. Just a little tiny bit. I'm going to say it came to here and settled there for a long time. That was probably the height where I saw the photos, and that was where it peaked. But the strange thing I noticed about this thing, remember in the VS Commodore video, I got pretty excited. I found the second set of keys and a glove box key all in the glove box. Well, guess where they still are? In the glove box. But look, it's locked itself, and the other key is in the ignition. So I'm starting to think, did it short itself out, lock itself? And now I have 3 sets of keys for this one, which is unheard of. I've usually got 1 key and it probably doesn't work, but I've got 3 keys for that car and they're all inside it locked. Oh, look at the compressor. So it's clearly floated. I've got it ocky strapped to the post there, because when that was running it had vibrated across the floor, so I ocky strapped it, but it's clearly floated, and the tank's lighter, so it's flipped itself over and spewed all its oil out. Oh, I left the drawer open. Oh, damn it. All the discs are going to be stuffed. Little things, I didn't think of that. Did not think of that. I knew I'd be cleaning tools, so... Yeah, I knew I'd be cleaning tools, but I didn't think of that. I had discs on top of discs and they're all going to curl up like that. Chamois, I might need that, for sure. Put that there. Oh, I was looking for that the other day. There it is. So it clearly made it to the top drawer. Well, you can actually see, there's the waterline there. That little line. Oh, straight through the bonnet. Yeah, you can clearly see it actually. So that means my 400 will be full of water. This one's annoying. I know that sounds odd. Why is a postie annoy you? Because I was given that postie only a few weeks back, and my son and I did a bit of a father-son project on this one and got it running. And we only got it running maybe a week ago. Put a new seat on it. It was a perfect father-son project, because you know kids don't have that huge attention span. We did a little few things every afternoon and we got that to run. I guess we're doing it again. Oh, my fuel drum. My fuel bottle is literally a water bottle now, full of water. There we go. Can't really see much in there. I'm not going to try and turn the power back on just yet. It tripped the breaker, so I haven't flicked the switches just yet, but we'll see. Oh, okay, so here's a sneak peek into what was going to be the next episode. Expensive coilover suspension, brand new, never used. I guess it'll clean up okay. Lucky Sarge's door trim is plastic, not cardboard. Oh, damn it. They're our shop signs, our man cave signs. Well, guess what? Now if you buy a man cave sign, we have them in our stores, shed and man cave signs, and let's just say now if you buy one, I think it's going to be rusty. I'll get them cleaned off and just let them patina naturally. Yeah, naturally. I don't know how I'm going to get into this Commodore's one thing. Oh. I guess I gotta go through my metal stockpile. My carts. As I said, I only bought these last week. Oh, the 327. Excuse me. My new mower. My old mower is down the back somewhere there. I'm going to need that one because you might not have noticed, but we've had a little bit of rain, so the grass is going to start to grow, so that one's a priority. Oh, look. So as high as the 327 is, I would say the water would have came up the exhaust and got into a exhaust valve that was open. I'll have to check when I get it out, but I would say it'll have water in it, because where's that water line? Oh yeah, it's above the exhaust valves. I wonder if the water couldn't travel up because it couldn't push enough air out. And then there's just miscellaneous stuff like my golf cart chargers. All this is just floated from the shelves. The wheels and tyres are all stacked there and they've just floated. More over there. I've tried to float away. Oh, there's one thing. I'm looking at the vacuum and just thinking, but no, the pressure cleaner, it's behind that golf cart. That's going to be one of the first things I'm going to need. We're going to need to get going. Where did the water come to? Yeah, what I was saying is the pressure cleaner. Ironically, the water's done all this and I'm going to have to wet it all down, wash it all off. These should be okay. Ironically, I'm quietly confident that these batteries are going to be fine. They're sealed. They've got these little watering systems. They're floats that when you fill them through this, they take in enough water and there's a little float. Well, if that float was up, that should stop the other way as well. It should stop water going in. So I guess we'll see. Doesn't mean all the rest of the electrics is going to be perfect. I think the speed controllers and things on these are sealed, so it might only be pull the motor, flush the electric motor, maybe. Where's all that oil coming from? Oh, I just had a thought. There's a turbo 400 there that was for that motor and the HK, but somewhere under those wheels, under here somewhere, is the power glide out of the EH. Oh, damn it. There it is there. Yeah, that's a built power glide under there. That one hurts a little bit. Everything out of the EH is up at the other shed. High ground, so. I can't believe everything's just floated. Oh, I suppose, what's it going to do, sit there? Oh, even the paint shed, not a shed, paint cupboard, everything that wasn't full has just tried to float out into the, there's usually a corridor there. Some of my most cheapest, worthless parts are up high enough that they didn't get affected at all. And then you got a turbo 400 and a heap of oil there. I wonder what that's coming out of. Anyway, You get the picture. The picture is muddy, but you get it. It's already drying out. I suppose, yeah, so it's had 4 days to marinate. Here's a wheel center over here that's made its way from over in that corner. Alright, let's stop bitching and get something done. This will be one of the first things I'll need, and it was actually in that drawer there. It's registering voltage already, so we might need a multimeter first up. I'll test this multimeter out. It's already reading negative voltage just from switching it on. And there's another transmission. I'll tell you the sore point on that one later. But these are new batteries, so if I can check one of these. That's saying -6 volts and changing irregularly. Yep, she shagged. So if I start writing myself a list, I need a multimeter just so I can check if the battery's okay for being underwater. They're sealed, so I can't see why they'd be buggered. Those batteries in there are brand new. So multimeter, a charger. I say that because I think the VS one, if it's locked itself, as it shorted out, so it'd be flat. Check power to the shed because it tripped the breaker out, so something shorted that out as well. So I have to unplug everything and just try and re-energize the shed. All the electrics for the shed, I might add, are up high, so none of the power points got wet. It must have been something that was plugged in, like a little golf cart trickle charger or something like that. So multimeter, charger, check the breakers, pressure cleaner. See if it works. I'll have to take it up the house, see if I can plug it in and see if it's going to work. Oh, contact cleaner or brake clean, I'm going to need a lot of that. Why I just thought of that, as I was thinking, can I pull the pressure cleaner apart, brake clean it, get it to run again? If not, I need a pressure cleaner. Engine oil, I know I have. I got 20 litres, as long as it didn't leak, as long as the lid was on it and it didn't leak in. Engine oil. Transmission fluid, because that one's dipstick's roughly the same height as the carburetor, so the transmission will be full of water as well. I'm messing up a lot because my head's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I might go and get my 2 big trailers, one just for general rubbish because a lot of stuff's just going to get chucked out, and the other one I guess for scrap metal. A lot of that metal in the corner, I think I'll toss it and start fresh. Let's just start there. Let's just do one thing at a time. 1 minute I'm disappointed, the next minute I'm angry, and the next minute I'm like, just shut up, just do it. So let's just do one thing at a time. I need a multimeter, a charger, check my pressure cleaner first, because if I go to get these other things, I can get a pressure cleaner then, and the rubbish trailers. Right, let's get something started. You forget about things, right? I'm just trying to make my way over to the pressure cleaner. This sounds like an old man thing to say, but I'll say it anyway. That old Honda Buffalo mower, my father gave that to me when I first moved out of home at about 16 years old. Now, it wasn't new back then. I'm going to get that running right or wrong, that poor old Honda. It's been through some shit. There's another one there, but I've got to get that pressure cleaner. I'll come at it from the other angle, and you sort of forget shit until you're over here. 396 block. Probably doesn't worry that so much. 4-speed out of an F100. My son, his little quad, he learnt to ride a bike on that. He hasn't ridden it for a lot of years, but still, it was fine. The other mower, that hasn't dried out one bit. That's still all wet. All the cupboards are going to have to go. They're all swelling. That one. A knee board. Ooh, could have used that. A knee board around the shed. Paddle your way around. Anyhow, this is what we need. I'll see if I can get out of here. What's the chances of it working? I would say 0. And no, I'm not going to pull anything apart. I'm just going to electrocute myself by plugging it in. Taking the piss, aren't you? Well, that's brand new. Well, that's one thing, I don't need a pressure cleaner unless it shorts out later on. One thing I'm going to need with that pressure cleaner is there's my pump off the big tank at the bottom. I still got to walk around, there's rubbish everywhere. Shit's just floated away. Anyway, I'll see if this pump runs, so I'll switch all the power points off, re-energise the shed. You think these would be somewhat sealed. Maybe I should take the top off that first. Might do that. Where do you reckon the water came to here? That's pretty high, eh? That's higher than we've seen it. Actually, I could tell you how much higher. That is exactly how much higher than last time. The highest we've ever seen it touched that corner of the slab. And across on my driveway there's 5 handprints. We all put our hands in it, the 3 kids and us, in that slab, and it comes to the 3rd handprint, and it was directly across the yard to that corner. It came to there twice, and just below there a 3rd time. So what's that, a solid 1.2? I'm going to take a guess and say 1.2, 1.3 above it. You reckon full of water or sealed? Full of water. A little bit rusty there. Anyway, I'll put a little hole in that, drain that water out, and just contact clean the rest of it and see if it actually wants to run. See if I can find a little drill bit. That one will do. Actually, while I'm in here, I'll just make sure everything is off, all the power points. That one's going to be fun. We've got to break into that one. By fun, I'm being terribly sarcastic. Yeah. Yeah, they're all off. Contact cleaner, that's what I had to put on that list. Did I write it? I don't know. I'll drain that water out, contact clean it. I thought that was already rusting, but probably is, but anyway. Oh, that's the other thing I'll need. Compressor. I was just thinking I'll blow that out with compressed air. We'll have to drag that compressor out as well. So there used to be a corridor here, go behind those cupboards, and the power point for the pump is over the back wall there. But all this has just floated. I said my pile of wheels was there. I'm literally, oh, they keep going. I'm literally climbing over my wheels. They keep going. There's the last one there. That's still full of water. Oh, laser level. I wonder if it went under. Oh. my new saw. Even the shelving's buggered. I'll have to get a guide of if it got that saw. That's brand new. Oh, the whippersnipper's high enough, but is that a guide on the back of that? All these cupboards are shot. Anyway, everything's just fallen off the shelves, like floated down. The laser level's turning on. Righto, so I'll leave that PowerPoint on and I'll energise this shed and see if I can get that pump to run after I climb back out of here. Still full of water. Like a war zone. I think those chargers will be fine because they're kind of sealed. Those ones were on top of the tyre pile, so obviously they didn't get covered in silt, but well, it stayed on. Nothing's burst into flames just yet. I'll flick a light switch on before I go trying to hit that power on the pump. I'll see if any lights come on. Yep, we've got lights. There shouldn't be any reason why they shouldn't come on. Yeah, okay. So we've got power. As I said, everything electrical is above. The delivery to the shed is below it. But as long as water didn't get in that, I think we're right. I'll check this pump. So if I flip this switch, we should hear that cut in or self-destruct. Nothing. That's just essentially gravity. I'll just check this connection first. Oh, it's kind of buried in there. I might go and turn the power back off first before I do that. So I cleaned out the connector. Now, there's our first casualty. The pump. Alright. I've even reset it and whatever else, and it's got nothing to it whatsoever. Doesn't shock me. Righto, a pump, add that to the list. So that's our first casualty, is the pump. The next one I've probably got to have a look at is this upside down compressor with its electric motor. Is probably going to fare the same, but I'll get it out and see what we can't work out with it. Oh, it snapped the fitting off. Well, there you go. When it's floated, it must have turned over and snapped the fitting off. So that means it will be full of water. Suppose first things undo that. Don't know what that is. My bin's gone. There used to be a bin there. It's clearly floated away. Gonna need some sort of bin. Right, I'll pop that, drop the plug out of it. I don't know, see if that's going to power up at all. Could be a waste of time, this one. That looks alright, but it's had mud in there. Righto, so do I go for the throat on this one? I'm going to go for the throat on this one. Plug him in. I'm going to go over there and flick that switch. It's got no oil in it, but if it makes any noise at all, then I'll worry about it. No, made no noise at all. World compressor has died. Does that shock me? No, not really. Does that break my heart? Just a little tiny bit. I mean, this compressor had a bit of a love affair. I'll just see if I still got lights, and then it might have tripped the shed breaker. Yep, tripped the breaker. So we've got a short in there somewhere. I'll give it one more go, and maybe I should let that dry. I'll blow it out with air. I'll give it one more go. Okay, so it wants to run, so I better put some more oil in it. It would be a good start. I know that probably seems a little brutal, but I got nothing to lose. I'll now change the oil. I actually let this drain, because no doubt that crankcase has got a little bit of oil, a little bit of water still laying around in it, although it was upside down for a long time. There's a container. So I found my bin, it was behind the shed. It floated down around behind the back. So every ounce of oil has drained out of that thing, which also tells me every ounce of water has drained out of that thing. I might take these air filters off though. I'll just use these. They're not so bad, just covered in silt. We'll get there. One step at a time, we will get there. Once we get a compressor, a pressure cleaner, multimeter, we're halfway there. That's a complete lie. We're not halfway there, we're not even close. But it's a start. I can start cleaning things up. I want to start with my truck. Kind of surprised she started going again, to be honest. I wonder why I tripped the breaker the first time though. So while that's draining and the air filters are drying, I'll duck over and get a pump, because it's only across the street. We have an irrigation shop, and then we're going to have to nip to town and get me rubbish trailers. Right, let's get going. So I grabbed a pump, some trays, some extra trays. I already have some trays and some fittings, and a couple of different fluids and some degreaser. So Once I get the pump plumbed up, then I've got my pressure cleaner working. Then I can clean off the compressor, finish putting oil in it. Then at least we've got compressed air and the pressure cleaner running. So we'll start with that. Yeah, I know it might seem a little bit dumb putting it right back where it just flooded, but right now I've got water in, a lot of birds, but right now I've got water in motors that's more important to me than this pump. And I put these undoable joints on, so I reckon I'll make a bracket up there somewhere and just undo them and send them up further. But for now I just need a pressure cleaner, and this is how we're going to get it. Still obviously got some air in it, it's not shutting off. There we go, that's good enough for me. Not primed yet, but let's get this cleaner. Righto, so now we're going to get somewhere. I've got the box trailer for rubbish, just wet crap. That old tub I was going to use for another project, but I think I'll just use it as my scrap metal bin, and then that can go to metal. We've got a recycling bin. I'll get my truck out of the way, and I think I'm going to try and get these two to run before I get too much in depth inside, because if I do clean something, where do I put it? So I think I'll clean off this area, get that one running, at best move that one, clean off this area, and then we'll start getting a golf cart out or a mower out or a poor old Commodore or something. All right, so we'll get stuck into these. So now with the multimeter, I can see that one's flat, but I can put a jump pack on that one and just turn the key and see if we've still got dash lights, or I don't actually know where the computer is on this thing. That's it there, isn't it? It's plenty high enough. Anyway, I'll just put some jump leads on it, see if we've got power to the dash, because it never made the dash. Then I need to look where that vent tube is, where it runs to, and I'll make a decision on whether I think that transmission's got water in it or not. Alright, so 12.1 with that battery hooked up. That's a brand new battery, so even that seems low. Hang on, I'll test the actual battery. Maybe the cables is where I'm losing it. Yeah, no, 12.2. Yes, I know I've got the polarity around the wrong way there, but still measures the same, 12.2. So the cables are losing me a bit, but that guy, having been underwater, has actually discharged a little bit. That should be better than that. Maybe the water over the top does that, I don't know, obviously. So with power to it, I've got dash lights, but I can hear something. Sounds like that radio just constantly running. No big deal. We've still got all my controls. That's still working. Let's see where this transmission vent tube went and see if I can just fire this thing. So I'm under my old truck, and that breather, unfortunately, it's just there. I can feel it on top of the box. So it would have went under. So I'm going to drop the transmission fluid out, because it's one thing to go, oh, has it got any in it, but it's another thing, the minute you start it and mix it, you'll never get out. It'll go through everything. Hopefully if it has leaked in, the water's going to sink to the bottom. So if I crack this drain plug and nothing comes out, could be a win. I guess to elaborate on that a little more, if water's come in that breather and it just trickles in, it goes straight to the bottom, because the oil will sit on top of the water. I can't find my spanner. There's my spanner. But if I mix it, if I start the truck and mix it, you've got no chance. And the problem is then, once you've mixed oil and water, it'll start to deteriorate the clutches from what I'm told, and all of a sudden, no matter how much you flush it, you're just making it worse. Or maybe not worse, but it doesn't matter how much you flush it, the clutches are not going to recover and they'll actually come unglued from the steels. Okay, water or no water? Water. Oh, thank God I dropped that. You should see all the debris on top of the muffler and everything. Look at that. Down there on top of the muffler box, it's got sticks and leaves and... Anyway, I'm going to let that drain for probably way longer than I need to. Maybe have a look where the breather on the diff is and see if it's going to be full of water as well. I think that's the breather tube there, it goes up there. It's not high enough, but the water was well above that. So I've just written myself a note to drain that diff oil, but I've zip tied that breather now right there, so that transmission breather's now up on top of the engine. Not that I want it to go under again, but you know, just, I don't know, maybe it will one day, I don't know. So I'm still waiting for that transmission to drain, then we'll hit it with some power, top it back up, and we might even just move it. If I can get it over there out of the way, knowing that one runs, I can clean up the area and just start bringing stuff out of the shed. That's the hard bit. It's like you pull something out to clean it, but you can't put it back. So where do you put it? I'm going to sit it somewhere here, like clean up here, so I can say pull wheels out, pull golf carts out, have somewhere to actually work on them. Once I move this, I might push this guy back. It's going to take a bit of work, but I'll have to take the transmission pan completely off. It doesn't have a drain plug like that one. Anyway, I'll check if that's finished, top it up, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I don't know why I checked that dipstick. Clearly there's not going to be anything in it, is there? Well, you wouldn't think so. I just drained it. My brain is out to lunch. Well and truly out to lunch on this one. Just to elaborate on that a little more about what I'm saying about the importance of the diff oil versus the transmission. If I start the transmission, it mixes it in, and I'm told transmission oil or fluid mixed with water can actually ruin the glue on the bands, and they separate. So even if you flush it and flush it and flush it, you've put it all through the bands and everywhere, right? Whereas the diff, if I move it from here to there, it's barely even disturbed it. So I'm not that concerned just yet about the diff. I will change it. I've wrote a note on the steering wheel and stuck it to the steering wheel, I should say. I didn't write it on the steering wheel, I put it on tape. I'm nowhere today. Now I used the absolute cheapest transmission fluid I could get because I have every intention of dropping this again in a very, very short period of time just to check. It was only about 50 bucks worth of transmission fluid. I probably actually haven't got enough right at the minute, but I will dump it pretty soon. Geez, that sounds optimistic. I've already got it going in my head, haven't I? So straight after I just went, there's no reason it shouldn't run, I went, oh, what about the fuel tank? I think I'm pretty right though. It doesn't look dirty in around there. And the vent, that tube there, comes right up to the neck. Now, if I work out the kilometers that I've got on the odometer and how much is missing, I should work out if that's about right. 155 on the odometer, and I've got the key on there at just over half a tank. Is that about right? I think so. It's usually around 550 k's to a tank. Yeah, I'm going to say that's good. I can still hear that. Something electrical over here going off its head. Do I give it a hit? I think I do. Can I hear a fuel pump? You sit here and watch that fuel gauge, and I'm going to turn that key again and see if it primes. Did it jump up? Ready? Battery's dead at the door now. Round 2, we'll try another one. I just want to see what's going on voltage wise with that, why that isn't turning over. Obviously submerging batteries does damage them. I was sort of thinking, you can see that there, can I sit it up so you can read it better? This is going to die under load, I'm guessing. Sounds like it's got 7 cylinders. The exhaust must be absolutely full of water because it sounds really quiet. One cylinder's not hitting properly either. Just going to check how much fluid I've got in that trans. Not enough. But it'll do to get me over there so I can get something cleaned down. So I've wrote diff all I got to do and top up the trans, and of course then we'll start stripping interior. But for now, it's still blowing a lot of steam, and I guess the exhaust is full of water. Well, you saw it spray all over the shed, so it's clearly full of water. But I think I'll spend the rest of the afternoon. I'll move this guy back, pressure clean off this area, because it doesn't matter what I bring out or what I clean, I've got nowhere to put it. He wants me to run into my truck. That is pretty much the whole sump worth of oil there. This will more than likely be all water. That's a lot of water. When you think about it, the whole motor must have been full to push that oil out onto the concrete. Bloody hell. That's a lot. Further back down the car I can actually see it dripping out the exhaust. There must be a hole in the exhaust there somewhere. Oh no, it's coming out the frame rail. Running out of frame rail. I might put that drain plug there. I don't think I'm going to need that for a little while. Still going. Jesus. That is a lot. But when you think about it, that whole motor was full. That oil filter is going to have to come off too. The way that oil would have got out would have been pushed out the top of the motor. I'm going to let that sit overnight, I think. It is still going. How many litres of water would a 250 crossflow hold? All of them, all of the litres. So while that one's idling and this one's draining, I think I'll just fire my pressure cleaner up, get it down here and just see how long it lasts. It'll probably crap itself halfway through the job, but if I can get this area done, cleaned up, then I can start bringing out little bits. Maybe I could bring my toolbox out first. That's probably the first thing I need to wash out, clean some tools, maybe work down through the shed that way. Maybe I can get one corner of it cleared out. But anyway, pressure cleaning. So I got me a little spot cleaned off to start, I know, cleaning something up, but I think for the rest of the afternoon, well, the afternoon's just about gone, but for tonight I'm just going to start plodding around, just picking up rubbish. Old boxes that are now sodden, like back there. Just generally go around and start just picking everything up that is now garbage. I'll see you in the morning. Last night I pulled out some of the easier things to get to, the carts that I can wash off and then try and get them going. A heap of tyres, just letting the seats drain. It took me a couple of hours, but I did break into the Commodore. As I said, it locked itself, which I don't know how it does that, but it locked itself and it had the keys in it and the spare keys in the glove box, which made it even better. You can see the waters came up over the console. It's in the glove box, so it's got high enough to get in there. It's still wet right through. Not great. So today's going to be a bit of a slow day because I've got to take a heap of photos of this and send it to the insurance company. This is one of the only ones that was actually insured because I had it registered. It was on club plates. So yeah, for once I'm kind of at a loss as to where to start. I guess I'll just start here, take some photos of this guy, and it's probably going to take me half the day emailing and all that sort of, you know, legal crap, but it's not looking as bad. I cleaned out all my scrap steel and started moving tyres out. I'm starting to get through to the back, but all the cupboards are shot. They're all swollen up, all the shelving. Right, let's stop bitching and keep going. I'll start with getting some photos of this poor old guy. That's the disappointing one. Never mind, let's get on with it. And my brand new mower, see how much water it wants to contain. Oh yes, all of the water. Actually, I might have to swing it round. It's on a bit of a slope away. I might have to swing it round. That's probably better that way. See now the drain plugs at the back corner. Here comes some oil. There we go. Here comes oil. 20 minutes after it's water. Anyhow, I'll let that guy drain for the day. Sometimes it's the funniest things that annoy you. This one, it's not much, it's just an old postie. But the look on my son's face as we got that running and he drove it around the yard, we'll just do it again. One thing we've got to give a clean is the old metal shop signs or cave signs. Let's just say from here on in, if you order a shop sign, you get one of a kind, the flooded kind. The limited edition pre-patinaed shed sign. It feels like we worked all day and didn't achieve much, but we're getting there. Everything's still coming out. We're not even completed getting everything out yet. Anyhow, everything's covered in mud. I do make the joke in a lot of episodes about I'm shallow and I don't care and all the rest of it, but I can tell you this one's testing me. The only thing that makes you, I don't know, a bit positive about it is there's always someone worse. Somebody's cleaning this same sort of shit out of their living room somewhere. At least it's only the shed and it's only a bunch of shitbox cars. That was a full day, literally just getting stuff out, and I had a ton of help. Yeah, the family and the extended family, the in-laws, just getting everything out that we could clean and stack, like engine stands and just everything. I can't even think right now. It does your head in. And we haven't even got to try and start anything. I'm still draining water out of every engine we had. The FB's 400 Chev, it's full of water. All its oil's underneath it. The VS, that's one that's it's going to be tough. It was insured, so I've got to send some photos away. I got all the photos I had to get today, but I haven't actually sat down and sent the email. So we've got to do that now. Unfortunately, I doubt that one's coming back with computers and all the rest of it, but everything. You saw the water come out of the Sarge's engine, mowers, everything. It's hard to get your head around. It's just everything. Even the free 327, as high as that is on that stand, the dipstick is over full. Like, so it's got some water in it. And all I can put it down to is the water has travelled up the exhaust and there's one valve that's open. Like, I didn't actually think it got to the exhaust height, but if you look at the radiator, there's a line across it. That's got to be the water line. Anyway, the next few days is still going to be doing that, is getting everything out, pressure cleaning everything in here before I can even give myself space to start working on cars to get them going. Maybe get a space cleared here so I can start putting cars in the air and dropping the gearboxes or the draining the gearboxes, I should say, not dropping the gearboxes. I'm not pulling anything out. I've got that many to do. I've got to keep it bare minimum. Even the engines on stands, the old Cleveland that came out of the XY, it had no fuel pump in it. So the water came up above the fuel. I thought it'll be fine, you know, it didn't get to the exhaust ports. Went in the fuel pump, boss. So its sump's full of water. There was a 350 there as well. It's full of water. Stop bitching, Michael. It's not that bad. See you in the morning. More of this crap. Cupboards and shelving are the thing that suffered the worst. Like that, it's just all swelling up. That was the shelves for my pallet shelving. It's just all swelled up. And it was just that high, so it's obviously soaked the moisture up from underneath. The water level literally came to the bottom of it. You can see none of these cupboards are going to survive. They're all bowed. So shelving and cabinetry is probably what I'm going to have to get stuck into first. This one's the same, just all swelling up. Look at that. Yeah, we'll keep going anyway. This one looks like it's about to fall over. All the base is swollen and it's collapsing. They're only cheap cabinets people were throwing out. I'd grab them and use them for the sheds. Maybe metal shelving this time. Metal cabinetry like that. Anyway. See if we can finally get one that isn't full of water. Oh, that's not even tight, so that's a terrible sign straight off the bat. Nope, we cannot get one that isn't full of water. How the hell is it getting in? Oh, I suppose there. Because it didn't get up to the exhaust ports. Mind you, this one got a fuel pump in it. That's what it did to the cleaver when it went in the fuel pump, boss. Nope, that's exactly where it's gone in, fuel pump. Might keep a bit in there, eh? Safe keeping. No, I'm just going to empty that because it's only water. Go again. I can't remember if this is the end of day 2 or day 3. It's well after beer time, but I'm not going to finish here. The other half is happily pressure cleaning away there because we're starting to feel a bit of pressure. Time-wise, I mean, it's forecast for rain in 2 days from now, and I've got to get inside cleaned out, go and get some new metal shelving, metal cabinetry, and then start, you know, loading everything back in before we get rain. And I've still got water in motors and all the rest of the things, so I'm really feeling the pressure here. But I can tell you one thing, it's going to be one hell of a shed clean out. You don't realise how much stuff you've got. I did take a little bit of pressure off myself today at lunch. I sat down and actually had a moment of clarity, and I contacted the guy who about 17 or 18 years ago built the 2-speed power glide for me, and said, look, I've got 4 transmissions that have just went under, a C4, a turbo 400, that courier gearbox that I don't want to speak about, and my power glide, and said, look, if I drop them over to you, none of them have been ran, they've just been full of water. He's going to disassemble them, just take that bit of pressure off me so I don't have to do it. That's it. I'll see you in the morning, but I've got to get back in there. See you. End of day 4. I didn't video anything today. I just got stuck into stripping out everything. Starting to sound like a broken record, I know, but hopefully tomorrow. Oh, this afternoon I went down and got new steel shelf racking, and hopefully tomorrow we'll start getting into some cars, getting them running. I don't know how long I want to stand here and hold this, but it's full of water. I'll get to all that. So day 5 update. I still haven't got those cars out and done, but I feel like we're getting somewhere down here. We've been washed out and we've got stuff going back in. I've got new pallet racking, well not pallet racking, just new racking, right? There and there. And the old cupboards that used to be here are now going down there, and I'm going to lift them all up. So that's why we've stopped right now. I want to lift those guys up, maybe 300 off the floor, put jack stands and stuff underneath it. Same with these guys, but I need to cut the end off this rack and of course go through all that shit. But for now it's just the wet stuff and reorganise. Cut that off, slide them down, little bench there. I want to put another roller door in here, but that's a want, not a need. So right now, just clear that space. Just trying to create a corridor down here. I've got the light moved to there, and there's going to be all the cupboards for all your bits and pieces. Those cupboards will be there, so you've got your corridor for getting at everything, and that way all in the middle there is just going to be storage, because I have way too much shit with golf carts and mowers and all the rest of it. So not saying all this is permanent just yet. That's just to get out of the way and start getting some stuff back in. But anyway, day 5 update. I'll pull up there because tomorrow I've got to go and get some steel and lift those up. I may as well do it now, make another frame to sit them on, lift that up as well, so if we ever get water to go through again, I can just hose out and not have to take everything out. Alright, I'll see you in the morning. We're getting somewhere. I'm still waiting on a phone call for that thing. Just to explain that a little more, I've never had an insurance claim, right? So I didn't know how this worked, but technically now, because I've put an insurance claim on this guy, it's not mine. It's technically the insurance company's. So I've got to wait for them to ring me back and say, okay, claim's approved, which that's not a problem. The claim isn't an issue. But do you want to buy the salvage back? And if I can buy it back, great, I'll buy it. And then, you know, start trying to work through it. But right now, that one, I can't touch it. Anyway, we'll get cleaned up in here, give myself somewhere to work, get these out tomorrow, get those cupboards lifted. It's time for a beer. See you in the morning. It's still got water in the carburetor. I've drained it out of the motor with the oil. I don't have to drain that bowl and flush it out. There you go. They've usually got a bolt up that way holding the bowl on, but this one just screws off. There's not a bad sign. Tiniest drop of water in the bottom of that carburetor. And my fuel's still on. And there's no tap. So I'll ignore that, just get fuel everywhere. I prefer fuel everywhere than water. I'll just blow that carburetor out and we'll give it a hit. Maybe charge the battery. Some oil and let's give it a hit. with the plugs out. And we've got dash lights. And we've got no water spraying out the plug holes, so that's a good thing. Righto, let's put some plugs back in it. The plugs don't have rust or anything on them. Do you think things floated around in the shed? Installation grease for a bushing kit. Somehow it's floated down into the engine compartment, steering area, fuel tank area. I'm going to find little surprises like that for months, I think. I was quite disappointed in this one because it's not that old. I not long bought it. It's a Kawasaki V twin. Yeah, I know, that's a total dad thing, getting excited about your mower. I'll be even more excited if it starts again. Come on. Righto. I need to write myself a little note, get a new air filter, because that one's full of mud. And write myself a note, air filter. Try another mower. I will say this one was always hard to start. That's not setting myself up for failure, but this one was always hard to start. That's fuel now. It wasn't. I might just let that run for a little while. See if I can catch fire. I won't have to worry about it. See if I have some more luck with this one. Righto, let's see if it winds. Oil's in. Oh, that's in oil. Mostly fuel, doesn't matter. Oops. That doesn't sound good at all. Doesn't sound good, so let's just bang the plug in it and see how it goes. That threw water out though. Remember, it was hard to start. See that? Water out the exhaust. Now it's going to be hard to start. The exhaust is absolutely full of water. Oh, come on, don't die on me. I'll just shut him down and make sure we're not turning that to caramel. That's not as bad as that other one. That's a lot cleaner than that other mower. Bonnet on that one might be alright. won't be able to take this right out because I haven't unplugged this major cabling. We'll see what we come up with here if I don't jam my arm under there. Any muddy water? Tiny bit. Nothing a bit of contact cleaner won't fix. I think I got off light on that because that's expensive shit. Why I say I might have got off light is, see, none of the windings, I expected all those windings just to be caked with silt, but they're not. There's a tiny bit in that female section of the, I don't know, drive sprocket, whatever you want to call it. I will check the diff, make sure that's not full of water as well. Yeah, I think my little man brain just had a sigh of relief. Very expensive motors, very expensive batteries times 3. I have 3 of them. I love my golf carts, but anyway. I've just cleaned up both of those terminals, that guy, and that yellow stuff is just a little bit of terminal protectant. Just this fella. That won't work now. Just to stop them corroding any further. Put the lid back on him, we'll connect him back up and see how we go. And I did just pull that diff oil plug. I'll come underneath. See there? That's just your plug, but it is perfectly clean, that oil. So no water got in there. Make use of the mud somehow. Would kind of mean the ring's sealing okay if the water's not draining back past the rings. Either that or the exhaust is completely full and every time the exhaust valve opens it's letting more in. Yep, that's what it's telling me. Stop rolling away. Don't you want to get better? Things you got to do. That's exactly what it was telling me. You can tell there's plenty of water, like look how it separates. That's the water pool there, and it's the fuel that's spreading. I don't think water got in the tank of this one because it's up so high, but we'll see how that goes. Damn you, muddy water. I had this thing running, like first kick type of running. It was good. For a postie, it was good. So up is choke on. what you want. Well, it's running, but why is it idling that high? Must have some mud in the carburetor keeping the, you know, the bell in the carburetor, keeping it up. But I'll put him back together. Oh, did I idle it down with the choke on? Nope. As dirty as the seats in my old truck are, I think I got off light. Look where the water came to. So that's surface rust, you know, from moisture and stuff. But it didn't actually get the fabric, so I think I'm going to WD them up and just chuck them back in. I'm not going to wet them if I don't need to wet them. This is why just air drying the car will never be enough. You've got to strip them. It's just sitting there. It's not getting away. Anyway, second reason you got to strip them, that thick insulation, it will never dry out to the point where I'm actually going to rip it all off, throw it in the bin, and then put Dynamat down, I think, or dry it individually and then lay it back on and maybe glue it back on, because it's going to be pretty easy to figure out where it went. Like, look at the shape of it. Anyhow, I got all the interior cleaned up out of my old truck, and I guess the only positive I can give it is it's very plasticky. It's not fabric, so I don't really think I'm going to have any dramas there. And inside didn't come out too bad. Got a little bit of rust converting to do in there, but I've thrown all that heavy insulation in the bin. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll give it a couple of days to dry out while I sort out other cars. But it has actually started to rain again, so I better get on the Bobcat and hurry the hell up and try and get Sarge over here, get some transmission fluid out of him, the interior of him. Actually, I better get the Bobcat going. See if we got up high enough to get in the airbox. That's a solid maybe. Can't tell. The upside is, even if it got to the bottom of the airbox, the intake pipe goes up and then down. So I'd have to get higher than the airbox really. Oil is high. Alright, so we're going to check the, at least check the engine oil, but hydraulics, I reckon that would have sealed pretty well. So I'll just crack the engine, that's engine oil drain there. I'll crack that and see what comes out. Black or white? Well, I can tell you it needs an oil change, so how about I just let it go anyway. But no water yet. No water's a good sign. everything have to have water in it? Yes. It flooded, you idiot. Yes, everything has to have water in it, but not the Bobcat, not right now. I don't know if I've got time for this. I'm just going to run it, maybe even for 20 minutes, then drop it over at the shed, maybe out of the rain. No water, I'm pumped. The only thing I'm worried about with the Bobcat is it's got such a long drain tube. I wonder if the water didn't make its way down that far. It is a little bit over full, but it is on a little lean too, so I guess we're going to find out. And she's dead as a doornail. Just cleaning everything up, just in case it's not getting good contact. It was a little bit corroded, and if it's not this, I'll see if I've got power going to the solenoid or the starter, and if I have, it's probably the starter full of water, because it's the perfect height to fill up. So what have I got now? Nothing. That's excellent. And this was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do things asked about face, and that was clean up my tools and clean up the shed before I went jumping into too many cars and machinery and golf carts. And so I had somewhere to actually fix stuff. All this was just, that was nothing but water, mud. This was nothing but junk I'd chucked up on there, so I reckon this will be corroded enough that it won't spin. I don't think it'll be buggered. I just think it will need a clean, a good solid clean. Starter end off. Oh well, here we go. Here we go. It's still full of water. Who would have thunk it? I don't like the looks of it when things are like that and they just all fall out in your hands. That might have been our problem right there. I'm more blaming now. I'm just going to contact clean that and say that's good, to be honest, because that's spinning freer than that other bit, and I don't want to deal with brushes and all the rest of it. They didn't look terrible. I just don't want them flying all around the shed. There's probably where the water got in. Look, there's a little hole there and a hole there. Conveniently there, of course, to let water in. I'll lose my shit if this doesn't work. Absolutely lose it. Like mental breakdown. See, that wasn't turning before. I was trying to turn that in the machine. It wasn't turning, so probably means absolutely nothing, but let's have a go anyway with my OH&S approved squinting technique. Righto, back in we go. Okay, so second battery on. Let's try. Bit of glow plug. That didn't sound good. I don't like the sounds of that. I really don't. But if there was water in it, it would have came out there. It would have, same as everything else. I'll give it one more go. It's got to be fine. Seemed okay. I think the reason I was so nervous is I didn't press record at one stage. I wound that over a lot, like a lot more than you saw. To the point where I thought I've bent a valve or something here, but anyway, I'll put some air in the tyres. I've always got one slow leak, and then let's get something done with cars, eh? Okay, so now we've got the Bobcat running, and there is no caramel in that oil, so I'll change that later. But what we're going to do is, I've got a bit of a plan. I'm sick of working in the rain. My sophisticated bonnet lock. I'm sick of working out here, so what I'm going to do is get this guy up on the hoist. If the arms will reach, it's a bit skew if it's not in the center, whatever. Put it in the air, drop the water out of the engine, the water out of the transmission, then I'm going to drag him out. Because remember, technically he's not mine at the minute. I've got to buy that one back once I hear from the insurance company. But that doesn't stop me getting some water out of the motor. Then I'll drag Sarge in, and I'll do the same out of the transmission on him, and strip the interior in the shed. And then hopefully I'll get a phone call on this one, and we'll be able to pull the interior out of this one maybe tomorrow. But for now, it's no harm to get the water out of the motor and trans. So at that point in the video, I started working on the VS, but I had to order a diagnostic cable so I could get these computers to talk to themselves, or I could talk to them, but it took weeks to get. When I ordered it, they said probably a couple of days. It didn't. It took a hell of a lot longer, but I now have enough footage on the VS that if I put it in here, it's a 6-hour video. So the VS is going to be a complete separate episode. It'll be put up straight after this one, but we'll pick up where we left off the day after I ordered the cable, and we went on with Sarge. Okay, so this morning it's all turned to shit. Well, not really, not totally, but yesterday I went in to get Noid lights. On the way in, I'm thinking, I don't think I even need them. When you crank on the thing, just say you disconnect the battery, reconnect the battery, crank on the thing, it wants to fire, but then shuts down. Well, if it's getting pulse to want to fire, then it's something else telling the injectors to stop working. See, it fired and then shut itself straight down. The minute it shuts itself down, it's got an orange icon on the dash. So it's time to get technical. So instead of ordering Noid lights to see if I've got injector pulse, I ordered a cable to talk to the damn thing. But that's going to be a couple of days away. So was yesterday a waste of time? Not really. We've got it to a point where fuel's clean, we know the injectors are working. I just need to talk to the damn thing and find out what's telling the injectors not to fire. I don't know, a flooded computer maybe, but anyway, rather than just throwing the parts cannon out, I'll just wait for that cabling. And so while I was at the parts store ordering that cable, I ordered trans kit. a filter and gasket for the van, and last night after I finished cracking the shits about the Commodore needing a cable, I dragged it over, dumped the fluid, and yes, full of water. So do you think this one's full of water as well? So we'll get the trans gasket and filter in the van, dry out the engine on the van, and see if we can get Sarge going. So I cracked this last night, and no, I'm not talking about the shits, I'm talking about the trans pan now. I did crack the shits. It annoys me when I need cabling to talk to the Commodore. But I'm not dissing on, I'm trying to concentrate on two things. Look at the water. Only positive I can give you there. Can't even see me, no use talking. The only positive I can give you there is because we haven't fired it, it won't be all through the transmission. Going back to what I was saying, I did crack the shits because I want the cabling. It annoys me a little that I need a cable to talk to the damn car, but I'm actually pretty keen to learn some of that crap. Does that mean we're going to have later model cars on the channel? Hell no. No, it doesn't. I'm just keen to learn it. I'm pretty good at making a mess. Look at that. That is silt, that brown crap. It is that fine you can barely feel it, but that's settled into the bottom of that pan. Anyway, I'll get the pan cleaned up and we'll get him going back in. So transmission pan is done. Next we'll disconnect the fuel line, see what siphons out of that, see if it looks anything like the VS fuel. I've already dumped the oil, so the filter plugs out. Wind it over. It's that easy. Nope. New filter on. This will be interesting to see if this thing's still got spark, because it's got those stupid ETS distributors, which means there is a really primitive little computer in that kick trim, which it went underwater by about that much. So we'll see. We'll get these out anyway. I should have took more note of which cylinder they came out of, because that one's as rich as anything, and it's only run for a very short period of time. But there is not a lot of moisture on them. Good. And as far as fuel line, we're going to come under here and I'm going to disconnect it just here before the filter and then run it out to a container. That does look a little cloudy already. Is that just on the outside or not? Nah. Yeah, I think we're going to find a lot of water in this one too. Feel like we've done this before? Of course we haven't. It was only yesterday. No, not enough. Come on, don't let me down. I don't want a gut full of this. Did I get you? There we go, gotcha. Now I need something to sit it up against. It's stupid. Wait, don't fall over. damn it. That's not just water, that's mud. Look at that. Righto, I guess we're draining this one too. Who'd have thunk it? So I almost filled that guy and I thought I'll test it again. Bottle number 2. No water. Let it go for a bit longer. Bottle number 3. No water. That's a big turnout from bottle number 1. Mud. So I'm convinced, or I'm confident, that's clean enough to hook it back up. New filter in it. Disconnected at the carburetor. And we'll wind some water out of these cylinders. Let's do that. There's got to be water in at least one. There had to be some valves open. Nothing there. Alright, I might just hit the key. I say I might just hit the key assuming it's going to do anything, but there's no dash lights at all. Nothing. Not a dash light. Oh well, I guess we'll see. It's just telling me a flat battery, but that tested okay. Well, it didn't test okay, it took charge. Big difference, Michael. I'll just clamp them on there and see what it does under load. All I'm doing is checking, so it's got, see that? It's got voltage there, but when I'm hitting the key it's not enough to turn the engine. So I'm wondering if the battery is just collapsing to 0 or collapsing to 5 volts or something the minute I try to put some load on it. And if that is the case, all it tells me is the battery is shagged. Alright, watching that. No. It's not doing much at all. I'm thinking that's more so the starter motor. So you didn't like going underwater, huh? Righto. Now I'm having flashbacks of the Bobcat. I think I've said this before, but just start with basics. I'm just going to go back to, rather than chasing wiring issues, I'm just going to go back to clean up some, drop some shit, clean up some terminals, clean up some earths, find that screw wherever that went, and once they're clean, that terminal's clean, that earth, then maybe we'll get some dash lights. I'd say we're not getting power in to be able to get power out. Okay, battery terminals cleaned up, earth cleaned up, starter cables cleaned up. Have we got dash lights? Yes, I have an oil light. I had absolutely nothing before, so let's see what happens now. Yes, is the answer to that. Yes, that is working. Here's the thing. We've even got spark. Like the first time I cranked this, I did the same thing. Leads over the front, and I could hear it. Well, I can still hear it clicking. So we're half a chance on this. Famous last words, because I said that on the VS, didn't I? Half a chance at this. Shut up. That's what you need to do. Just stop talking, get on with it. Bit of WD, hopefully just to soak up a bit of moisture. Give her another wind. I think this ignition switch is dying. The reason I say that, I just rolled it on and it did nothing. And now it's going again. Why all of a sudden did I have no water, then I had a lot of water? Are we doing the same out the exhaust? No. Let's get some compressed air in there and try and fast track this. It's a bit slow for my liking. Holy crap. Okay, so just winding it over wasn't getting it all out. Look. Did you get some on you? I think you did. Got a lot on you. Hold still. You're right. Son of a... No way in the world that would have fired like that. Okay, winding it over off the key is ineffective. I'm going to wind them to a different point and then try again. Man, I'm wearing this shit. See? Do know how to make a mess. Just do that. I'm just going to have to keep doing that. Got to do the carby yet too. It'll be full of water. One last wind for good measure. Oh, I tell you what I did do. I've connected the fuel line over to, oh yeah, it's full. There you go. I connected it to that, set it in my milk crate so it didn't fall over, just to check the fuel for the 31st time. Oh damn it, and there's bloody water in it. But then again, that could have been coming out of the carburetor. No, couldn't. That could have been coming out of the pump, not necessarily draining from the tank. So I don't know how much weight I'll put on that. I'll give it another crack. Righto, I'm not seeing any more water spray, so it's time. It's time for plugs. Can't really reach these back ones, so I'm just putting a bit of hose over the end of the plug so you can get down in there. Onto that one. This one's a bit the same. Okay, plugs in. Connect fuel. Add clean fuel. Okay, come on, Sarge. Be the one. Be the one, huh? Come on, Sarge. going to run, but let's just have a few checks, huh? First thing I'll check is, I'll bet you this is going murky already. No. She's awful quiet, so the exhaust is full of water. Although it hasn't really spurted much out just yet, but it's not really dripping out underneath. We'll just try and keep it running a bit longer. Yes, I'm checking the water. That'd be ironic, wouldn't it? Everything's got water in it. The radio would be low. No, it's good. It'd be the one thing with a leak and it'd be empty. So the idle circuit's fairly blocked. Well, obviously, probably with silt and crap like that. The minute I take my foot off the throttle, we're done. Just wondering if I can blow everything out of that idle circuit. Probably take a little bit of winding now to get some fuel back into it. Just going to idle it up for a bit. Idle it right up and see if I can get it to idle by itself. Then I'll just start working on the carburetor. You can see water dripping out of the exhaust now, so she's definitely full. I'll see if that idles it up a bit, and if I can get it to idle up, I'll try and drag that dirt through. That's what you want to drag it through into the engine. I have to be a bit quicker than that. Am I getting power to that idle stop solenoid? Is that why it won't idle? I had dramas with one of these once before. I got the key on there, so as I unplug it, that should click, and it's not. So I don't think it's dirty now. Idle circuit at all. I reckon I'm not getting power there. I'll check. I am getting power there. So I'm going to pull that and clean that up. Just the solenoid itself. I should have got a bigger spanner. It's just what was on the bench. So if this isn't grounding or something like that, that could be it. So when that gets power, that should pull in. It's a bit dirty. And that's definitely got power to that. And I've got nothing happening. How can that just fail? Just clean it. So check this out. Key is on. I've cleaned up this guy. See it work that time? Now it's stuck in. I'd say it's just full of dirt and crap as soon as you ground it. So is the carburetor grounding? Yep. It's just sticking. Let's clean inside. So to clean it out, all I did was spray contact cleaner down it and then WD and just keep doing that. So put it on a good earth now. I think I've made my point. But that port goes into the idle passage, so if I think there is a bit of silt and crap in there, let's blow it out through there. Got nothing out of that. Am I confident that was it? Yeah, kinda. It gave all the right symptoms. No idle. Idle stop solenoid. Once again, find the biggest shifter you can to make it as hard as you can to get in there. Do we hear it move now? Yes. Ready? You can't hear it over that mower. That's all I'm saying. In a sign of absolute confidence, I'm going to put it on the ground. I wonder what that transmission fluid looks like before I do that. It's there and it's not white. It's not pink. So it'll do. Now righto. So see now, idle stop solenoid fixed. Charging, but it doesn't sound happy. And just to explain the handover, the carburetor thing, you build the revs up a little and put your hand over the carburetor. It tries to suck air from anywhere it can, so I'm hoping it's pulling dirt and crap through the passages and giving that carby a little bit of clean fuel rather than dirty shit. Oh, now the seat's still wet, so I've got that. The dust. Now we're bound to have gears. Oh yes. Don't die on me. Oh, gear. Well, door's open and glove box is full of water, but we're going one way or another. I've got to shut that door somehow. Got it. Sarge is alive. Winning. We're back playing games in our dash as well. We've got nothing working again. I think, yeah, I've got no fuel gauge at all. There's not even a needle. Where's the needle gone? That's random. And in a funny way, that does feel like a little bit of a fail. Not really, I guess. Sarge is back doing Sarge things. We got my old truck running. The golf carts. The postie we got running as well. And the mowers. We've had that much rain. I think I'm going to have to get on that for the rest of the afternoon, but I still got a lot of cleaning up to do, and I guess that VS I'm still waiting on parts, so I guess that means there's a part 2. I don't like doing that, but there's definitely going to have to be a part 2. So until then, I guess I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. I'll get back to cleaning up. Oh, that's my melon. I come up too quick then. Oh, means I'm gonna duck right under. Don't just... This is not your pond. It was your pond, but not right now. Maybe, I don't know. I know that I like golf carts when they go. I see your golf cart still runs properly. Shut up, birds. I feel very low in my milk crate. But my regular stool's covered in mud and it's wet. I think I'm stuck now. Yep, I'm stuck. Unstuck. Bird. So that's Pee-wees. So that's basic. You're kidding me. You're kidding me.